Hey everybody. Okay, sorry I'm late because I was running all over the house trying to find my computer glasses and I can't find them, so I can't see you. Anyway, yay, I'm back, yes. Oh, I should just leave the glasses off because then I can read it better. Hey Maria, how are you? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I will leave my glasses off. Mariana says, I'm so happy you're back. Yes. Bugs Bunny's elbow. Oh, that's awesome. Is it Thursday? No, it's actually Tuesday. But we were like, oh, maybe we should mix it up and try some different days. And the demand seems to be such that maybe I'll do more than one a week. So that's fun. Katie Nails Love. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Okay, so I said that I would talk about some Ask Anna questions, and because I was running all over this morning, kind of didn't pull those up on my computer. So I do have some that people ask me a lot, and the biggest one is, how do I get my nails to stop breaking? And so the way to do it, and I talk about this in my articles on nailcarehq.com, the best way to stop or to make your nails grow faster, because that's the one I get the most. How to get your nails grow faster? Actually, there's one, your nails never stop growing. Never, 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 until you die. And but people, animals with claws, we all grow our nails at different rates. So for some people, they just seem to, their nails are like constantly growing and they're constantly filing them down. And then other people's are like, I'm looking, I'm waiting for something to happen. And part of it is because you're looking and you're paying attention every day of like, why are they growing? Anyway, they are growing, but the key is to get them to stop breaking. And for a lot of people, they think that the solution then is nail strengtheners, and we've been duped. Part of it is because they have really good PR marketing systems, groups to part. What am I trying to think? I can't even think of the right word right now because I was running trying to get my glasses. And anyway, so what people do is they'll pick a nail strengthener and thinking that harder nails is better. And actually a nail strengthener, for the most part, unless your nails are very short, a nail strengthener is going to make your nails too hard, and then when you whack them into a counter or a door, your nails are not going to bend. And you really want them to bend so that they don't break. And that's how we get longer nails, is they stop breaking. So the best way to do that is to use a very good high quality nail and cuticle oil, and the most important ingredient is jojoba wax ester. And that is because underneath a microscope, when you look at the chains of what makes up and amino acids and all of the things that I don't know because I'm not a scientist, but I lost my train of thought. Come on, come back. It'll come back to me, because I keep doing this. I start down one path and then I go down another path. Anyway, why jojoba is most important, and it's because under the microscope it looks almost identical to body oil, and nature has figured out the best way to keep our nails strong and flexible, and that's with the perfect blend of about 18% moisture and 5% body oil. But then we screw things up because we wash our hands on average about 20 times a day, and it's just too much. It's too much, and so it strips all the oils out of your nails and your skin, and so then when the oils are not there, then they get brittle and they break. So I hope that helps, and the very best place you can go is nailcarehq.com. I have written over 80 articles now, and we're working really hard to put those articles on YouTube so that then you can just listen to me while you're doing your nails and doing your nail art. So, because I know not everybody has time to read, and I seem to keep writing some of these longer articles. Google likes articles that are 300 to 800 words long, and I tend to write ones that are 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. My nail biting article at this point is up to like 6,000 words and lots of sciencey stuff, but it's so good. It's so good. And it's really going to help people who have trouble biting their nails to realize why it's so complex. So that is the biggest one. So if you Google nailcarehq.com and strengthen brittle nails, then you will find that article, and that is the most important article. Yeah, so that's gonna really give you your good base, and then just follow the rabbit trails of whichever articles seem to interest you at the time. All right, let's zip back, and I'm gonna find the questions. I'm so happy you guys have all joined, and it's fun to see new faces, which is fantastic. And so for those of you who are on here and don't know who I am, I'm Anna Seidel, and I am the writer for nailcarehq.com, and I am also the owner of Bliss Kiss. And just as kind of a disclaimer, I have no interest in selling you anything today. My job is, because there's so much that's locked up in my head, and which is why I've been writing articles for 4 years now, almost 5 years. I gotta teach you guys. It's very, very important to me. Hand cream suggestions, especially for nails. I don't have a suggestion for hand cream because they contain water. Usually the first ingredient is water, and then there's also other ingredients that help it sort of create a moisture barrier, which is what lotion does. It's creating this moisture barrier, but I have trouble with the fact that the first ingredient is water, and water is horrible for your skin and your nails. Oil, body oil is what works best. And so a good quality nail and cuticle oil will actually help your skin as well. So beauty educator, it says what you eat. What do I eat? I try and eat really, really good. I could definitely eat more fruits and vegetables, but I'm also really, really good at taking vitamins. Vitamins and minerals, I think it's very important, because unless you are eating a perfect clean diet and you spend so much time planning your food and going out to farmers markets and purchasing all of this wonderful fresh food, if you're not doing that, then it's very easy for us to be deficient in certain vitamins and minerals, and actually that's really, really important for healthy nail growth, because once our nails have grown, and once they leave past your cuticle line right here, they're dead. They're dead. So there's no way to refortify them, or any of these little buzzwords that the products say. It's the vitamins, the foofy things that they put in them. They don't do anything. So if anything, they tend to make your nails harder and then break more. So it's really, really important that if we want to strengthen our nails, we do it back where the nails grow, which is back behind your cuticle line. So, and water. Water is a big one. And the formula for that, the new formula, is take your body weight, divide that in half, and that is the number of ounces that you should be drinking. Sorry, the amount of ounces you should be drinking every day. So the whole 8 glasses only works if the math works right for that. So anyway, if you've got let's say a person that's 100 pounds, then they need to eat or drink. Maybe I'm hungry. They need to drink 50 ounces. Do I have that right? I don't do math very well in the morning. Pretty sure. Anyway, so water, you guys, the water is big one. Big one. It's so nice to see about 30 of you here. I know people will come in and go out. And so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Anna Seidel, and I'm the writer of nailcarehq.com. And we are also working to get all of my articles in audio format, as well as other training articles on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/C as in cat, which means channel, /BlissKiss. So you'll find, I can't believe we have almost 50 videos there. So that's another rabbit hole. Okay. Somebody says, I have to share this with you. My daughter just heard your name and she said, is Elsa there too? LOL. I sound like Elsa? That's cool. That's a beautiful actress to sound like. Bugs Bunny says, I have to constantly be filing my nails, which is very easy now with your glass nail file. Don't you love it? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about nail files, because that is something that a lot of people don't understand. Your crystal nail files are going to be about 600 grit, and the lowest grit you can go is, which is technically like, I think of it as high, because even though it's backwards, the lowest grit is 100, and you would never ever want to use that on your natural nails. That grit, which means if you look at a square, it's weird doing stuff backwards. If you look at a square and 100 grit, it would be like putting 100 pieces of sand in it. Okay, and then 180 is putting in 180 pieces of sand. And so then if you go up to 600 pieces of sand in that square. So it's going to go finer and finer the bigger the number. And with natural nails, we want some of those bigger numbers because they are more gentle. A 100 is just going to chew up your nails like crazy, and then you're going to have to go up to the higher grits to smooth out the mess you just made. So I hope that helps you. Definitely 180, 240 is really good for taking down length, and then I move to the 600 or my crystal nail file for kind of rounding out that edge and making it smooth. So I hope that helps. Okay. Whole bunch of people joined. It's so nice to see all these people. I have seen in so many videos that they put garlic into nail polish bottles or bathe their nails in fresh orange juice and garlic. I wonder if it's really helpful. What do you think, Anna? Can you see I'm cringing? I'm like, okay, so when I first started learning about nails and nail care, I mean, I've been painting my nails since I was like 12. Oh, and that's a fun story, is my mom said, you can have nail polish as long as I never, ever see it chipped. If I do, I'm taking it all away. And I was like, okay. And so I would repolish my nails every night to deal with tip wear, because I didn't know anything about base coats or top coats, and I don't think anybody really knew about them. And so every night I redid my nails. About 5 years ago, all I wanted to know was, how do I get my nail polish to stop chipping in the shower? And so I did the big Google search and fell into this 2-week-long rabbit hole, literally. It was a good thing I was a full-time mom because they were at school and I was just obsessed. I was so obsessed with it because I fell into the nail art, the nail swatchers, the bad nail advice, and I did end up on YouTube. And when I started seeing all of this stuff about garlic, I was like, really? And so then I started doing a lot more research and found Doug Schoon's book, Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, and he doesn't address it in that book, but it didn't take me too long to figure out when he says the only thing that penetrates nails is water and oil. That's it. Nothing else can penetrate the nail plate. So then I was like, garlic's not gonna do it. and then putting your nails in orange juice. Orange juice and garlic, so I obviously have talked about that. Orange juice is predominantly water. Yes, it's got acids that could reduce the staining, kind of like soaking in water and lemon juice, but you're soaking in water for 15 minutes or whatever, and that's horrible for your nails because what it does is it pulls all the layers apart. And so water is really, really damaging. We don't want water. We don't want our nails soaking up all that water. That's why it's so hard with baths or sitting in the spa, or like me, every once in a while, probably like once a week, taking a long shower. It's kind of one of my indulgences. I love long showers, but I don't do it every day because some people are like, they got mad at me when they heard that. Anyway, so while I was learning about all this garlic, I was like, wow, where it's gone. And people would say, my Italian grandmother swears by garlic. Well, most likely it's because she's prepping all of her food in olive oil. And olive oil doesn't penetrate the nail plate very well, but it does very, 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 very slowly. It does. So grandmothers with fantastic nails, Italian grandmas, it's because they're not the garlic. It's because they're in oil. Their hands are oily all the time. So that's really good. So then, then people were like, okay, my grandmother says garlic is what it is. And so then people start chopping up garlic, mincing it, and then they were putting it in top coat. Like, so now you've trapped the garlic in a resin, like trapping a little mosquito in amber from long, long time ago with the dinosaurs. So we're trapping that garlic in the top coat. What's the point? Not gonna help your nails. So, and then it moved on from that of, oh, if I chop it up and it works in polish, then maybe if I just stick my fingernails in cloves of garlic and do that for a while. No. No, and more no. So I hope that helps. Goes back to what strengthens our nails is oil and a little bit of water, but your body has to produce the water, not the shower. Okay, next question. Patty, I think. Question, my nails usually shift by the end, but they don't break. Are they weak? I'm gonna guess you didn't mean shift. I'm gonna guess chip. So Patty, talk to me again, and tell me what you really meant. Ooh, somebody says, does a hot oil treatment work and is it worth it? Yes, it does. Heating up any oils makes them penetrate better, especially if jojoba is in the first 2, maybe 3 ingredients. But it's the jojoba that is going to penetrate into the nails. So yes, Doug Schoen says that heating up the oil does make it penetrate the nail plate faster. Oh, Simply-Dolligical. I can tell you love Christine. That's awesome. I just got my nail oil from Bliss and it's changed my life in like 4 days. Thank you. That's so awesome. I love these stories. You guys really, the stories make the hard work of running a business and writing articles and even this takes time, but it's so fun to be able to connect with all of you guys. Z says, I believe it's all how you take care of your hands and your nails. Always wear gloves when using water for extended amounts of time. Z, have you been reading my articles? That's fantastic. Totally true. Hello from France. Hey from Turkey. Oh, hello Bliss Kiss Queen. You guys are so sweet. That's awesome. Is clipping your nails bad for them, and should they simply be filed down to a desired length instead? That is a freaking fantastic question. And no, because your nails are dead. So it's not damaging at all. Let me grab some nippers. So most people, and your nails are dead, so clipping them is not bad. But if you have like, okay, so like I do, if you have, let me raise it above the lettering. If you can see this, my C curve, when you have really curved nails and you start to cut them, they will snap, and that's just because they aren't full of oil 100%. So the way to clip them, especially if you have, and I would still do this with flat nails too, with flatter nails, is you're going to start and you're going to clip at a 45-degree angle. Can you guys see that? Don't clip straight across, because if you do, you're going to get your first clip here, and then the nail is going to split and fire off that way, and it's going to do it at a downward angle. So using the forces of nature, whatever, I cut it at a 45-degree angle, and then I cut, so it's 3 cuts. So it's a clip this way, then a clip at the top, and then a clip just slightly tipping down, and then go back and finish with the filing. I learned from a blogger 5 years ago, I think, which is if you use a nail file, and I think like 240, it takes 20 strokes to take down about 1 week of growth. And that was for her. So for some of you, it may be a slightly different number. But if you prefer to file them instead of cutting them, what I do though is I'm lazy, like a lot of you. So I like being like a lot of you guys. Is I don't have time to do 20 strokes on every nail every week. So I will just let them grow for 3 or 4 weeks, and then I cut them, and then I finish filing. And that's actually what I did this week. So they're shorter, so that my horse Zeus doesn't help me break one. So that was a great question. What do you do if I go in a pool for a long time, and what can I do for my nails? The very best thing you can do, my guess is that you're a swimmer. Duh, if you're in the pool for a long time. And so you want to make sure that for sure you're wearing at least 1 layer of base coat, and you want to wrap it all the way around your tips to your finger, because water gets through the underside, goes all the way through, and it breaks the polish to nail bond. So you want to wrap it around. If your nails are really short and you can't, at least cap the tip. So there's a difference. Capping the tip is just running the brush along the sides, and then wrapping the tip is wrapping it all the way around. So I hope that helps. And then for going into the pool, I would actually use some sort of a lotion or balm that has a little bit of wax or some lanolin in it. And you know, that's what our lotion stick is. I had my mom create that. She's our chemist. And I had her create it for people who work with water, paper, fabric. There was another thing, and it slipped my mind. But for people, you know, some of you just cannot get away from working with those things because that's your job or it's your sport or whatever. So especially with swimmers, you want a lotion that's not water-based. You want it to be nice and oily and a little bit of wax, and cover your nails with that, and then cover your skin with that as well. And so then it's going to resist water while you're in the pool. I hope that helps. Maggie says, hi, Anna. Hi, Maggie. Really love your oils. Are nail and cuticle masks safe for your nails? Newport brand. I don't know about Newport brand. Nail and cuticle masks. Well, it depends on what they're doing. If it's on your nails, no, it's not going to do anything. If it's kind of like when we do a mask on our face, and it's more of just it removes the dead skin cells that aren't sloughing off. If that is what it's saying that it's doing for your skin, that's okay. We usually slough off most of our, I would say on our hands, we slough off our cells, Anna. Skin cells. Think. Anyway, we're going to be, because we're washing, we're doing everything with our hands. There's no excess skin cells that are hanging around. That's why, like, if you're wearing sweatpants and you've worn them a little while and your legs are flaky and it sort of flakes into your sweats, that's what's happening, is your sweats are rubbing off the skin cells that are sloughing off. So I hope that helps. Maggie, I just wrapped my tips as you explained last week. Curious about showering later. You're fine. Should be fine. And when you get out of the shower, you should notice that your C curve will be exactly the same as when you went in. Black Widow 7 has, I have problem with weak nails. I was told to take vitamins. It was helping, but after a while they just kept breaking. I tried all kinds of polishes to stop that, but nothing hardening, like quote hardening strength. Any advice? Yes, I have a lot of advice. Like I was talking about earlier, vitamins are always a good thing, vitamins and minerals, because most of us are going to be deficient in some vitamins or minerals. So for sure, definitely take those. You want to get your doctor's advice to determine if you feel like you're just kind of not normal, like you're really tired or some other things, you might want to talk to your doctor and get your blood tested, because you could be anemic or have something going on with your thyroid or whatever, and then that would help. And then they would also be able to advise vitamins and minerals that they think would be helpful. But I will say that most doctors have had about, I think it's 6 months of nutrition when they're in school, so that's not the focus of what they spend their time doing. Let's see, and this is another really, really good thing, a good question, because when you say you took the vitamins, was helping for a while, and then they and then they kept breaking. A lot of times when your nails seem to be suddenly different, like, what did I do? What just happened? Why were they fine, one day, and then tomorrow they're starting to peel and break? And my first question is, what happened to you 4 months, 6 months ago? Because it's usually stress related when they suddenly become weaker. And they really weren't. It's back 6 months ago when the nails were growing. They weren't getting as much nutrients as you would normally if you were healthy or didn't have this extra stress, a divorce, starting school, you name it, getting a new job, anything that's just a big different. Even if it's, a family member died, or you just found out that you have something going on with your health, or you've started even as simple as starting a new medication, that can affect your nails. So, but the best thing you can do is make sure that you're using a high quality nail oil to get that oil back in your nails, and it also helps sort of glue back the layers, so they don't peel as much. I hope that helps. And yes, polishes on top. Polish creates a temporary strength, so it's really a good thing. I recommend 5 layers of polish, but that's because my nails are so thin. So I put on 2 layers of base coat wrapped all the way around to this side, and then 2 color coats, and then another layer of top coat wrapped all the way around to the underside. So if you think about it, you've got 5 layers of polish up here, and you've got 3 layers of polish on your tips. So you've created 8 layers of polish to temporarily strengthen your nails. And the great thing about polish, regular polish, is that it's flexible. It's meant to flex with your nails, whereas nail strengtheners are meant to hold your nails in this tight shape, almost like as if you were wearing a corset. It's gonna hold your waist into that tiny position. So that's what nail strengtheners do, is that they've got these other resins that help hold the product tighter. And that's what supposedly strengthens, but they're really not. They're making them too hard. And our nails are, I'm going to write an article about this because it's 4 different parts, but it's hardness, it's strength, it's flexibility, and one more. So it's those 4 components that make for really healthy nails that don't break, or don't break as often. Nails by Andrea. Hi, Andrea. So much good advice about water I've never known before. Thank you. Very helpful. I'm really so somebody says that's an onion, lol, no garlic with an oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Blondie says I have really dry hands. What is the best product to use? Anything that is not a lotion that has water as its first ingredient, or even like its second ingredient. But if you look at lotions predominantly, their first ingredient is water, and that does not help with dry skin. Actually, what it does, and all of those other ingredients, the parabens and the humectants and all of these things, is it puts this layer on top of your skin. And I don't like it because they make my hands feel slimy. But it does put a layer on your skin, and what that layer does is actually make it so that the moisture, and especially the moisture, less your body oil, because your body oil will come up and stay there underneath that lotion. But all of the I mean, our skin, we lose more water from the rest of everything that we drink. We lose it from our skin. So this water is constantly evaporating out of our skin, and all lotion does is it creates this barrier so that the water can't evaporate. So, quote, moisturizing your skin, which it really isn't, because then you wash it and it comes right off. And so you want something with really wonderful butters and balms, and for me, I mean, with everything that I've learned, jojoba has to be the first ingredient to work the best. Black Hollow Witch says, I have really tight C curves. How do I loosen that? That is a great question, because as I was showing you guys earlier, so do I. And so what I actually do is I file, so the nail actually starts to grow down this way. I file that edge off, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with filing the sides. I don't know who came up with that one, because we can file our nails. They're dead, so we can do whatever we want with them. Anyway, so I file off this edge at just a little bit of an angle going up this way. And what that does when you do that on both sides is it takes the pressure. So you've got this really, I can't do this anyway, this tight C curve. And what it does is it relaxes the sides just a little bit so that they don't feel so tight. Because some people, their C curve gets so tight that it almost starts to go into an oval, and it's painful. So I hope that helps. I feel like I keep saying I hope that helps. I know it's helping. Navita Cat, I think. I don't know. I'm probably saying that wrong. Have you ever had a black spot under the nail as if it's a splinter got in there? And how do you get rid of it? This is a newer article that I wrote, and they are called splinter hemorrhages. And I'm trying to remember why they happen. I know I wrote the article just recently. So if you Google nailcarehq.com and splinter hemorrhages, if it's not there, it's because there's only one thing. If it's not there, it would be because I've put it as a draft in my blog, and I need to finish the draft. So if you don't find it, email me and tell me to write that one as my next one, and that I said I would write it. Nailing Beauty says, I've always pushed my well-oiled cuticles back with an orange wood stick. Recently I read we should not push our cuticles back at all. Any truth in this? Nope. Oh my gosh, this is the stuff that just goes around and it drives me crazy. Okay, Now we get into the cuticles and the proximal fold of the eponychium and the eponychium, and then there's the hyponychium on this side. But anyway, yes, having well-oiled skin here, perfect, great. So everybody has been taught wrong. The entire planet. Anyway, so this band of skin right here, that is your proximal fold of the eponychium, and it is one of the required 4 guardian seals that keep germs and bacteria out of our nail matrix where the nail cells grow, and then also in back through here, and even your lateral side walls. Those all protect to keep germs and bacteria from getting into your nail bed and infecting that. So we've got 2 spots where all of these guardian seals are protecting and keeping germs and bacteria from getting in there. And so what most of us think is the cuticle is actually the proximal fold. And this area that covers your matrix, so it depends. Everybody's matrix is a different size and a different shape, but this area of skin is called the eponychium, and it's covering your nail matrix. So then what happens is, as your nail is growing out, it has this death grip bond to the underside of the eponychium. And so as it's growing out, it is literally ripping the bottom layer of skin from the eponychium, which creates this nice, tight seal. Well, it's also sealed to that proximal fold. So what happens is it starts to pull out the proximal fold and stretch that out. And I did this. I let my nails grow without touching the proximal fold for 3 weeks just to see what would happen. And what it did was the cuticle had this death grip on the proximal fold, and it stretched that skin out. So then what I did was, with my fingernail, when I pushed back on the proximal fold, what I was doing was releasing it from this layer of skin, which is the cuticle. I was releasing that skin from the cuticle. Well, since it had been stretched out so much, now that skin had been stretched big and was no longer connected to the nail plate. And what happens is, because we wash our hands so much, that then this skin dries out and it becomes this flap of skin that is sticking out, and it's dry and it annoys the stuff out of us. And so we cut it. And that's how cutting that skin started. And we really, really don't want to ever don't ever cut the skin, but it's perfectly fine, and you really do want to push back with your fingernail, or if your fingernails are too short, then you can use an orange wood stick. But what you want to be doing is pushing straight back. You're not pushing down, because that will cause bruises, but you're pushing straight back with the full intent of releasing that proximal fold from the cuticle. And when you do that, then that band of skin stays nice and tight, and it looks beautiful. So you're fine. And you definitely, I push mine back, and I use my fingernail so that I can feel from both directions whether it's going to hurt. And with this finger, I can feel how much pressure I'm using. It's a little harder to feel that pressure the same way with an orange wood stick, but it's still fine. And some people do this, they just remove their cuticle, they just gently scrape it when they're in the shower because the skin has gotten softer. And then I tend to not like doing that, but I'll use a cuticle remover. But it's very, very important that cuticle remover only touch your nail plate. So you want to protect your skin from your live skin from getting dissolved with the cuticle remover by using a latex barrier like our Simply Peel. That's why I created it, was I didn't want the lye that dissolves skin. It's the only ingredient that dissolves human skin. It doesn't care whether it's the dead skin on your nail plate or if it's the live skin back here. So you want to protect this skin, which is why I created Simply Peel, so that then whatever you got, actually what would be, because you can't be perfect. You can't not get it on your skin. And so that's why I created that. I hope that helps. Oh, Nail Polish Army says you look great today. I'm kind of feeling that way. Thank you. Bugs Bunny show. Bugs Bunny's elbow. Sorry, I read that wrong. Do you receive a lifetime supply of nail oil since you created it? Of course I do. And so does my family. And then the fun thing that we like, because we want to reward our team members, is they all get our products for free for life, and then discounts for their family members. So yeah, it's fun. Yes, I do get as much oil as I want. But what's funny is when we made the oil at home, because we started in the kitchen, so we're that classic starting kind of in the garage kind of story. But I started in the kitchen, and I had oil pens everywhere through my house. And then we moved to a warehouse, and very quickly I had no oil pens. So I have to remember to kind of check them out for myself since we do have to keep track of inventory now. So anyway, oh, this is a good one, Hollow Addiction. Why are the nails on my left hand longer than the nails on my right hand? So my guess is you are right-handed. It's most likely this is your dominant hand, so the right hand. It's going to take more abuse. You're more likely to chip corners, and so then filing it down a little bit more maybe. It is entirely possible that your nail growth on this hand is not as fast as your nail growth on this hand. But I also find that I feel like mine does too, but it's probably because I tend to keep these just a smidgen shorter. And so it may be the visual thing. Oh, this is a great thing. I don't think I've ever shared it with anybody. If you want to make sure that your nails are exactly the same on both hands, I haven't done this. You take your fingers like this, and I know some of you are probably smart enough to have figured this out. I had a friend teach me like in middle school, because I was like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing. Anyway, put these two together right at the cuticle lines, and actually you can see. Let me get, mine aren't even. I didn't even them up this time. And you do that with all of your fingers, and you take a look at it and like, oh, this is interesting. I left my right hand longer. But you do this, and then you can really find a place where you can see, but you can really see that they're different. And so then you can work on the longer one just a little bit more, and you just keep checking. And that's how you end up with perfect nails that look the same on both hands. I've never shared that before, so there you go. That's a fun little tip. Does Bliss Cuticle Oil help with nail growth? It helps with reducing nail breaking, and that is the only thing that you can do. And it's very, very important to be oiling your nails so that they are not breaking as much when you whack them in. You want them to bend. That's very, very important. And it leads me to an article that is very popular that I wrote quite a bit ago. And it's called How to Make Your Nails Grow Faster. Sorry, I've written so many articles. It's like, which one was that? So it's How to Make Your Nails Grow Faster. And quickly, I'll tell you what it is. There are only 3 scientifically proven ways to make your nails grow faster. 1, get pregnant. That's not an option for everybody because I've had 4 children. I am done. 2, move somewhere warm. So those of us who live in cooler climates, when we go somewhere tropical like Hawaii or Tahiti, any of these places that I really can't think of at the moment. But if you go somewhere warm, you'll notice that your nails, for some reason, seem to be growing a whole lot faster. Why is that? Well, you're warmer, so the whole matrix is getting a lot more blood. So it's happier and it's growing your nails faster. It's crazy. And then the third one, which I highly do not recommend, is to damage your nails. The body's natural response when you damage the nail, like nail biting or like slamming it in a door and you eventually lose that nail, the body's response is must take care of this fingertip, because we grab, we scratch, we do so much with our nails, and they are there to make our life easier. So did I answer that question? So yeah, I don't recommend damaging your nails. And if you want to read the whole article, go to nailcarehq.com and Google the keyword. Oh, I already said it. How to grow nails faster. So I hope that helps. I love seeing all the all of the little hearts, you guys. That's so sweet. I have no idea where I am on time. I do know that I get a 2-minute warning. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I'm wrapping up. And I'm going to do another one on Thursday. So if I don't get to your question, come back on Thursday. Haven't decided the time yet. Usually it's more in the afternoon for me. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm on Pacific time. Also, if you really want to make sure that I get that question and it doesn't fly by, email it to me at Anna@myblisskiss.com. It needs the my. And then I'll make sure that I answer it on the next one. And if you guys ever miss any of these, they show up about a week later on YouTube. So we want to make sure that everybody gets all of the information. And you know, if you come to a few of these, you're gonna go, okay, Anna's saying the same thing over and over and over. And that's really important to me, because not everybody who comes is the same person. So there's a lot of new people who come, and I really love teaching everybody, so I have no problem repeating it. But you might not want to hear it. So what James, our team member, he's freaking fantastic. He's the one who does all the editing. And so he takes the topics of everything that I'm talking about, and he gives you the timestamps. So you can go to it, and if it's at 19 minutes and 20 seconds, you can click on that and it will take you right there to that question. So James, you're brilliant. Maggie makes a very, very good point. Just make sure that when you take your vitamins, you get less than 100% of A, D, E, and K, as those are fat soluble. I wouldn't agree with the 100%. 100%, anyway, let me finish what you were saying. A, D, E, and K are those that are fat soluble, and you can get an overdose of them. Also B6, because it can be neurotoxic. Yes, but I would not agree with the 100%. You certainly don't want to go with something that's like 10,000%. But I believe that you can have a little bit more of the 100%. You need to have more than 100%, because what those numbers are is the FDA recommendation to not get rickets and scurvy and all of these things that we could get by being vitamin deficient in certain vitamins. So I think you can take more. I definitely take more, but I've also worked with my doctor too. So that's important. And yes, you definitely can take way too much of those vitamins. So be careful. Mom rules, I just jumped in. Is filing better than clipping? I did answer this in depth earlier, so I will quickly get it. But next week, when it's up on YouTube, look for it, because I talked about it in quite depth. So there is no difference because our nails are dead, so it's fine cutting them. I gave the technique of how to cut them so that they don't shatter and end up being way shorter than you originally intended. And then filing just smooths the edges. So, and you can take down length with filing, or you can just smooth those edges. So totally up to you. Amber, oh, I love you, Amber, because you say something that's not true. If you file, so it's very, very good. I'm glad you said it, because this is very, very important. If you file in one direction, it's healthier. Not true. And the reason, I just found out about this from Doug Schoen. He has been getting this question a lot, and so he went to his trusty electron microscope. I wish he had taken pictures. Maybe I'll get him to. Maybe I can do that. Anyway, so he looked at nails that had been filed, and then also nails that they had been filed in one direction. And filing in one direction means file, 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 and then you go from the other direction, file, file, file. It doesn't mean you can only go left to right. It doesn't mean that at all. So there's the filing in one direction, file, 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 file the other way, or the way I've been doing it my entire life, which is just seesaw, back and forth. And when I first started, I thought it was bad because of the torque, but actually he proved with the electron microscope that under the microscope, it doesn't look any different whether you did a seesaw action or you did the one stroke kind. So, and since our nails are dead, it doesn't make them healthier. All it's doing is shaping them the way you want. So, clipping your nails can cause micro tears. That is not true. How are my Bliss Kiss? So I'm really glad you brought those up, so that I could tell you guys the truth, because that's really important to me. How are my Bliss Kiss products produced? Is it possible to see the warehouse and production? You know, probably a year ago I used to show a lot more of the production, but we definitely want to be doing that and showing you guys the kind of the inside look. So we're gonna be taking more pictures and more videos for you guys of what happens in the warehouse. How are your Bliss Kiss products produced? We make everything from hand by hand. That is our consumables, like our lotion stick and our oil. We manufacture those. Then the other products that are like a one-time use, like our Miracle Mat, the new one, the Simply Grab cotton tool. I'm blanking on. Anyway, so you can grab cotton and then use it to clean up your Miracle Mat or to get little bits, like, especially this is good if you've done all of your nails and you just smudged one. It's great for being able to remove that polish on just one without getting your hands all mixed in acetone. So those, like that one, I looked at all kinds of countries across the world, and actually Pakistan did great. China, this was interesting to me. China's, all of theirs were very much inferior. They were stiff. The little wires would pop out, and some of them would make this clicking noise that was, it just made it harder to use. It was almost like it was getting stuck on something internally, and so I was surprised that China did not a good job on this. So yeah, I worked with that manufacturer and in Pakistan, and so happy, but it took a little while to get it just right so that we could offer that lifetime guarantee. It's the only product that we offer a lifetime guarantee. We will replace it. That's how much I believe in that product. All of our others have shelf lives and things. So I hope that helps. People are liking the tips and tricks. Good. So, Brazil kisses. Have you ever gotten a splinter under your nail, and how would you get it out? Oh, if you can't get it out with tweezers, you're gonna have to wait for it to grow out. And that, you know what? That has happened to me. God, I think when I was little. Blackberry bushes are wicked. Those are weeds up here in the Pacific Northwest. The one that I've done a few times, though, is I've had children who put forks in the dishwasher the wrong direction. Although some manufacturers, they put all of the eating parts of your utensils pointed up. I'm like, no, I don't want to stab myself. But when my children were learning how to do the dishwasher, fill it up, they'd put some of the forks in sticking up, and then you go to grab it, and it's like, I've hit under there, and boy, does that hurt. And that's actually a good segue into, this is the hyponychium, that seal right there that you actually can push on, and you can push back, and it will shorten the look of your nail bed, because you're releasing that hyponychium, which we really don't want to do. But when you stab yourself with something right under there, it will release the hyponychium, and you'll end up with this funky look of this wavy edge that goes down like that. And the the body's natural response is, of course, to fix that, and as it grows out, it will bond. It will stay bonded. I'm sorry, you have a splinter. I know it hurts. Oh, this is a good one. Mom rules. You asked me good question. What do you do if you've torn your nail so far down that you can't wrap it? Like, just stay away from water. Here's what I do, because especially my thumbs, can I do this? It's like trying to do stuff in front of the mirror. You know how you like grab this hair and you think you're grabbing this side anyway. So this curve is much flatter than my fingertips. And so I will tear, like with the pressure of life, basically pushes up on this nail tip. And so it will tear way, way back here. And boy, does that hurt. And it annoys the stuff out of me when it happens. You can do a fiberglass wrap, but because thumbs take so much upward pressure of just living life, that my new favorite thing to do is actually, I'm down to 2 minutes, is actually to get an artificial nail, a plastic artificial nail, and file that to match your nail, and then just glue that on and let it grow out. And if the glue bond ends up causing it to pop off, that's okay. Just re-glue it back on, and within 2 or 3 weeks, then that will have grown out, and you can go back to, and then it won't be so, gosh, can you imagine if you actually had to cut it back? I actually had to do that once, and it hurt so bad. And I broke it, and the skin, I broke this one so far back that the whole that section of the nail bed was exposed, and then gluing on that tip, I got nail glue into it. But that saved me, because there's no way I could have survived with my nail bed exposed that much. So, some pain for beauty. Okay, I've got 58 seconds left. Okay. Push those scales back. Can you get, 49 seconds. You guys, there's some questions that are so great, but they take me too long. I've only got 39 seconds now. White spots in the nails, what does that mean? That's a great one. It's gonna be the last thing. White spots in the nails is if you've banged your matrix back where the nail cells are being created. They are opaque. They are white. This is why some people have a lunula. That's the exposed portion of the matrix. And so if you've damaged this, as it grows out, it doesn't turn transparent. It's body oil and moisture that makes it turn transparent. So those are just bruises. That's all they are. 4 seconds. Okay, bye guys. I'll see you on Thursday. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.